I found myself at a recent Sunday evening service where Angie preaches, writing down something that she had said during the service, and then I found myself writing down another thing she had said during her message. And by the time I reached the third thing that I was writing down, I thought to myself, I need to ask her if I can share a few of these things on Sunday morning. I need to steal, but with permission. By the time I reached the fourth piece that I wanted to share, I thought to myself, why am I asking her if I can steal these things and use them instead of asking Angie if she'll just share her message on a Sunday morning? So I asked her if she'd share her message on a Sunday morning. She said, well, yeah, I could lengthen it, expand it a bit. I said, I don't think you need to lengthen it. I think it's just right the way it is. It has enough for us to work on, and it has the Lenten piece of self-exploration, of visiting with God about who we are and how we relate to others, and about moving toward an experience of being set free to live in a new way. It's a Lenten message that has a little Easter within it. It is a Lenten message that hopefully will help you to feel set free.
Bible, it says, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother when he sins against me? Up to 7 times? And the Lord replied, I tell you not 7 times, but 70 times 7. That is 490 times. What if you've already done that 490 times? And if your own forgiveness depended on your ability to forgive that other person, what happens if it's 491? Are you going to go through with it? Or are you just going to say, no, I don't want to? Well, nothing bad, thankfully, is going to happen to you. What Jesus means here is that we simply need to always forgive someone. We never stop showing forgiveness to one another. It was once said that holding a grudge is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to get sick and die. If we cannot forgive one another, the only one we're truly hurting is ourselves. You can only think that you think you're getting back at this person, and in fact, the only person you're hurting is you, because that's going to continue to grow inside you, and you're not going to be able to get rid of it. To forgive means to set someone free, or set something free. When we forgive ourselves, another person, our families, our church, whoever we think has wronged us, we free ourselves from the power it has over us and those feelings. We just let them go. Take a few minutes. Think of someone, maybe yourself, that you need to forgive. And I'm going to give you just a few minutes to think about that and share that with the Lord. Is it yourself? Is it someone in your family? Is it someone here at Grace or at work? If you haven't spoken with them, maybe now's the time to make a plan to do so. If you have, then maybe now is the time to let it go. Let go of the hurt and the anger. I know it's hard, but we have to try. Forgiveness that comes from the cross is absolutely unlimited and has no boundaries. And if God isn't keeping track, then why are we? We hear a lot of times in the health industry that people are detoxifying their bodies. When's the last time we detoxified our spirits and filled them up with the good love and grace of God? In Colossians, Paul tells us, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Amen.
Stories, certain poems that kind of, they carry not only meaning, they draw others to them, and especially now with the internet, they seem to attract stories to go along with the poem or the telling. And so this is a story, not a true matter-of-fact story, but a story steeped in truth. May it speak to you. There was a young seeker struggling through getting established in life, and he sought out a bit of help, a wise teacher known to walk with God. And the young man shared his story, his frustration, his hopes, his dreams, his need for guidance. And the spiritual director heard some impatience in the young man's story, and a strong desire for independence. And she also heard a strong desire to follow God's leading. And so she invited him to walk with her out in the garden of her holy order. And she snapped off there a stem of a rosebud. And she handed it to him. She said, "Do me a favor. Open this rosebud for me." The young man looked at her questioningly, and she nodded. So the young man deliberately tried opening that rosebud, tearing the petals, twisting it, watching pieces fall to the ground. And the wise woman smiled and broke off one more rosebud and shared this poem. "It is only a tiny rosebud, a flower of God's design, but I cannot unfold the petals with these clumsy hands of mine. And the secret of unfolding flowers is not known to such as I. God opens this flower so sweetly when in my hands it dies. If I cannot unfold a rosebud, this flower of God's design, then how can I have the wisdom to unfold this life of mine? So I'll trust for divine leading each moment of my days, and I will look heavenward for guidance each step of the pilgrim way. The pathway that lies before me only my heavenly parent knows. I'll trust God to unfold the moments just as God unfolds the rose." That is our challenge for today, to go away with more patience, more forgiveness, more dependence upon God. Amen.